Okay, I'm in again. Please confirm if you can hear me. Yeah? Okay, shall we still do this? Can we power on? I can see all of you are here. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to jump right into MailChimp. Okay? So here's MailChimp, MailChimp.com. You've all got your Word document still open, right? I'm going to log in into MailChimp. So here's what I'm going to be showing you today. We are going to be designing an email, and I'll also send it to those of you in the class who want to receive it so that you will be able to see the before and after, how the email looks when you're creating it and how it will look to the recipient when you send it to them. Make sense? Does that sound good? Okay, excellent. So let's get into this. So this is what my dashboard looks like. Now there are a number of things already happening because this is an old account and I've been doing some things on it. Your accounts, when you log in, will probably be blank, but over time, as you start using, they will populate. Now, MailChimp terminology. On the top left, you can see the MailChimp logo. Anytime you're within MailChimp, anywhere, any window you're in MailChimp, if you click on this monkey logo, it will bring you right back to this dashboard. Okay. So, MailChimp logo brings you back to dashboard. Next to that, there are four menus. Each of these means something. Campaigns is MailChimp terminology for emailers. So every email that you design and send out using MailChimp is called a campaign. A template is a free predefined layout designed by MailChimp, available for your use. Okay? You can also create your own templates and store them there. List is MailChimp terminology for databases. And reports is MailChimp terminology for user engagement stats or metrics. Remember metrics? Bounce rate, delivery rate, open rate, click rate, all that comes under reports. That's pretty much all there is to the MailChimp terminology. Now, I want to show you a couple of very important things before you get started. And these are things you should do before you start designing your campaigns, okay? Because if you don't do this, your account will get locked and you will not be able to use your account. If your account, once your account gets blocked, it's very difficult to get MailChimp to unblock your account. You'll have to start afresh and create a brand new account for this. Okay, Digital Vidya is calling me. I'm just going to pause for a minute. Okay, sorry about that. There have been frantic calls between Digital Vidya and me in the past 20 minutes. They're just calling to check. Okay, we are all good, right? You can all hear me still. Excellent, excellent. Just make sure you're engaging so that I know if you drop off or I drop off or something. Okay. All right. So I was saying that there are some things that you should do before you get started. If you don't, MailChimp will definitely block your account. So what are these things? You will need to update your detail in MailChimp's records. How do you do that? Top right corner, can you see my name, Ramya Digital Vidya? This has a little triangle next to it, which means there's a drop down menu. Go into profile. So by the way, I'm not going to be showing you every single menu, every option, just the key things. You can explore the rest of it on your own. Okay, MailChimp is an abundance of features. When I go into this menu and click on profile, it takes me here and there are multiple menus here. Now the first one, overview, is where I can update my passwords. Under settings, I have to go into contact information. Actually, before that, details. So settings, details. I went into my profile over here, then I went into settings and details. Now here is where I put in the account name. This is for MailChimp's records, okay? This is not what my customers will see. This is just for MailChimp's records. I can change this at any point of time if I want to. Ramya Pandyan, Digital Vidya. I also need to put in my time zone, and you'll see why this is important. The date and time format, that's MMDD, DDMMYY, whatever it is, currency format, and save it. If I'm an agency using this MailChimp account to create emails for other people, I should click this because there are some additional advantages that agencies using MailChimp get, even the free account. But I'm not an agency, so I don't have that enabled. Now, MailChimp not only lets me track whether my emails have bounced and whether they've been opened and clicked on, it even tells me what the benchmarks for my industry are. So if I tell you you got 74% open rate, now is that good or bad? It depends. It may vary from industry to industry, company size to company size. So if you give MailChimp a little background about yourself, it'll tailor the benchmarks accordingly. I've chosen education and training as my background. I can always change this anytime I want to. How many people? How old is your organization? And I say save. And these are all mandatory requirements that you have to update these details, okay? And the last thing is, what kind of email notifications would I like to receive from MailChimp? I want a confirmation when a campaign is sent, but I don't want any of these other things, newsletters and tips and all that. You're all with me so far? Now, the one other mandatory thing is similarly under profile and settings, contact information. This is super, super, super important. If you do not complete this, MailChimp will definitely block your account. They will not let even a single email go out from this account. Under contact information, these are all the details you'll need to fill. I've already filled it in. You can see. I'm going to list it out for you. You can copy paste this into your notes. That's his full name, company website, company address, phone number, and your email address. Now, what if you don't have any of these things? Now, everybody has a name. You may not have a company name. You can put in your own name there. You can see I put in Ramya Pandin Digital Vidya over here. What about a company website? If you don't have a company website, you can put in a blog address. You can put in your LinkedIn profile address. And please note, I said LinkedIn profile, not just linkedin.com, okay? You'll have to find your LinkedIn profile address or your Facebook, your profile's address. Any one of these will do as long as you give them a valid address. Can you still hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So I said if you don't have a website, use a blog address or use your Facebook profile or your LinkedIn profile address. You have to put in a real world address. I put in the digital with the office address, an actual phone number, a legitimate valid phone number, and a legitimate email address. Okay, are we clear on this? I've listed out these details in the chat window. You have to fill these in. Your account will get blocked even before you send anything if you do not have this filled in. So please do these two steps as soon as you log into your account for the first time. There are a number of other things that MailChimp can let you do, such as MailChimp lets you design Facebook ads. It also lets you promote your emails via Facebook and Twitter and a number of other things. If you want all those things happening, you'll have to go into integrations and add those. Okay? I'm not going to get into that, but take a look at it in your own time. Okay? Are we ready to go back to the dashboard? Okay, so we want to send an email out, right? But before we create an email, we need a database of people to send the email to, right? So instead of getting into a campaign design, I'm first going to go into lists. And that's right, lists in plural because MailChimp allows you to maintain multiple databases. So here's the MailChimp rules. MailChimp free account lets you send 2,000 emails a month or 12,000 emails a year. If you want to be able to send any more, you will need to upgrade to one of their paid accounts. But 2000 emails a month for free with all these features is actually quite a lot. 2000 or 12,000 in the entire year. Okay. So if you send 2000 this month, next month for the next 6 months, then for 6 months after that, you won't be able to send any emails using this MailChimp account. Now let's look at this databases. You can see there are multiple databases here. This is my demo account for MailChimp. So every time I do this demonstration, I create a list with whichever class I'm demonstrating it to. Can you see all these? All of these are already here. But you don't have to worry about this. When you log into your MailChimp for the first time, this will be empty. What you will need to do is create a list. Do you want to create a new list? So I clicked on this button in the top right. Do you want to create a new list, or do you just want to subdivide an existing list? I'm going to say forget about existing list. I want to create a new list. So what do I want to call this list? This is all just my internal records, okay? I haven't even started communicating with my customers yet. I want to call this DV Weekday, July, August, no. You are August, September 17, right? That's your batch. Digital Vidya, DV stands for Digital Vidya, WKDY stands for Weekday Batch, August, September 2017. What is my default sender email address? If I don't choose anything for a particular email, this is the address that will go out to any email I send out to this database. What is my default sender name? It's going to say Digital Vidya. That's my default sender name. Now, MailChimp is very big on permission marketing. Remember permission marketing? If they discover that you've been sending emails to people who have not given you permission to mail them, they'll block your account. And believe me when I say they're very stringent about this. They're giving a lot for free. So they're going to be very, very stringent about when they take their services back. Okay, so please don't do that if you're using MailChimp. Remind people how they signed up to your list. I'm going to say this was part of a Digital Vidya demonstration conducted on, what's the date today? 22nd? 22nd August 2017. Now you'll see company name, organization is already here. Why? Because it's picking up from my contact details. I can edit it if I want to, just for this database. I've removed the Ramya Pandyan and left it as only Digital Vidya. Now regarding this database, what kind of notifications do I want? Do I want a daily summary? No, not really. But I want one by one subscribe notifications. That means the minute a user gets added to this database, I want an email notification. I also want an unsubscribe notification. You know, if one of you were to unsubscribe, I will find out about it right away because I'll receive an email saying Darshana has left your list. Unsubscribe from your list. Right? And I'm going to say save. Excellent, you have a brand new list. How does my list look? Isn't it beautiful? Nope. Why? Exactly. So much mehnat and it's an empty list. So how do we populate this list? There are three ways by which I can populate a database or a list. Method number one. I just go up here to this add contacts. By the way, how do I come to this screen? Let me jump back to the dashboard. I'm going to go into lists. And now among lists, you'll notice here's the list already created. It's an empty list, but it has been created, right? It says 0 subscribers. So I can either go in here or I can manually add by clicking on this. Let me just go in here. And this is the same window we were at, right? So now you know how to get to this window. I'm going to go to this menu that says add contacts and say add a subscriber. And here I'm going to put in the email address. So digitalramya@gmail.com. First name is Ramya, last name is Pandyan. This person gave me permission to email them. Yes. If this person is already on my list, update their profile. Yes. And subscribe. Mission accomplished. Digitalramya@gmail.com was successfully added to your list. Now let's go back to lists. You'll see now it says 1 subscriber. And now let me click on it and aha. Does that look a little nicer? See, here's the email address I put in, the first name and the last name, right? Now what happens if you already have a database of 50,000 subscribers? You have to go and put each of them in individually. That's a lot of effort, right? What you can do is take a backup of your database that you have right now. Go into add contacts and say import contacts. Now you can import contacts in lots of ways. If you have a backup in the form of a CSV file, you can just choose that and say next. If you want to copy paste from a file, you can do that. Or if you've already integrated it with a CSR customer database like one of these, you can integrate it here. You'll have to go into integrations and add that here. Let's go with the simplest, which is if you have a backup file and say next. Now on the next screen, you will be allowed to browse your desktop and pick it up from wherever it is. I don't have a database backup, but if I did, I would see it in my list and I would be able to pick it up and say next. I can't show you this since I don't have a database. The next step is really simple. All you will need to do in the next step is to select what all information you want from that file. It will display the entire file. You will have to select I want everything or I only wanted to import the name and the email address. And once you say OK, it will start importing. It usually takes about 3-4 minutes for a small database. It might take up to 10 minutes for a larger database. And while it is importing, you can still continue to do other operations within MailChimp. Are we clear so far? So method number 1 was to manually input. Method number 2 is to import existing database. What's method number 3? Let me go in here. Have you ever subscribed to a newsletter or a blog? If you go to YouTube, you can subscribe to a channel. If you go to Facebook, you can subscribe to the updates of a page. If you go to a blog or a website, you can fill in a subscription form, right? MailChimp lets you create a subscription form, which you can then put up on your company website or your blog or wherever. And anyone who comes in there can fill in their own details, and those details will automatically get added to this database. Isn't that cool? Exactly. Thank you, Nandini. Lovely reaction. Oh, wow. I'm going to sign up forms over here, and you can see lots of different kinds of forms. If I had integrated my Facebook, I would even be able to create a sign up form that displays on a Facebook page. I'm going to keep it really simple and go into general forms. Under general forms, again, lots of options. Do I want a sign up form? Do I want an update email form, unsubscribe form? No. I just want a simple sign up form. Now here's my sign up form. Email address, first name, last name. What if I want even more information? Not to worry. On the right hand side, lots of pieces of information. Let me try and see, can I do something with this? Let me first change the title of the form. The form looks very boring, right? And blah. DV weekday, August, September 17. So I'm going to say edit over here. And here I'm going to say Digital Vidya MailChimp demonstration. And then I'm going to center align it. We talked about typography, remember? I really don't like serif fonts. So I'm going to pick a sans serif font that's Lucida. I'm going to make this bold. I'll also make it bigger. 24. How's that? I'll change the color also. And this also I'll make it slightly bigger. I'll make it 14. And I'll make it a different color. Is this better? Nicer looking? Yeah. Let me also put in a little message over here. Click to add a message. If you would like to participate in this demonstration and receive the demonstrated emails in your own mailbox, please complete the form below. Once you're done, verify that you are human on the next page. You will be sent a verification email. Please find it and click on the link in it. You will not receive any further emails from this list once this Demonstration is over. Is that good? Let me remove this. Change the font. Let me make this a different color. And what if I want to add a little logo? Let me add a picture. Here's a picture. Let me pick up. So these are all pictures I've used in the past. This is what I was looking for, the digital Vidya logo. And I can say insert. Now I can edit all this, or I can just change the width. Now 150 by 37 is too big, so I'm just going to make it 50 by whatever. Save and insert image. Okay, this is too small. Let me click on it again and make it 100 by whatever. Better? Save and close. Super cool, right? The form is taking shape. Now let's look at each of these fields in it. Email address. When I click on this, on the right hand side, there are two tabs. One says add a field, one says field settings. I've chosen email address. I can change, if I want it to not be called email address, I can say what is your email address, fill your email address. I can change all that. There's something called a field tag, which I don't want any of you to touch. You'll see what field tags do in a few minutes, okay? Now this is by default a required field because this is an email marketing tool. I'm going to save this. Let's go to the second question. The second question says first name field tag is F name. Do not touch it. I'm going to make this a required field, which means that you will not be able to submit the form until you have completed this field. And say save. Similarly for last name field tag, I won't touch it. Make it a required field. Is that good? But I want to add some more. I want to capture even more details. What if I want to ask you for your nickname? I can just do this. I already have a name field, right? If I click on plus, it'll just copy this and make one more like this. And this I'm going to call nickname and make it a required field, or let's say not, it's an optional field. Now what if I say no, I don't really need to know people's nickname. Oops, I made a mistake. I can just go and say minus. Are you sure you want to delete it? Type delete to confirm. So I say delete. And voila, it's gone. So it's that simple to add and remove fields. Let's add a few more fields just to make it look nice, shall we? So I'm going to ask for all of your birthdays. Now they have a birthday field, but birthday field only adds DDMM. Instead, I'm going to ask for a date field, which will add year as well. I'm going to click on it. So I can go into field settings. Okay, this happens sometimes. It's not updated yet. Just refresh the screen and it'll update. Okay. MailChimp slows down, so don't panic if it hangs a little bit. Okay. Okay. So what am I doing? I'm clicking on this and untitled. I'm going to say date of birth. DDMM YYYY. I'm going to make it a required field and the date format is DDMM YYY. What else can I add? Let me add checkboxes. No, before checkboxes, let me add a drop down. So Nandini, this is going to be visible to everyone on the screen. That's why I'm not asking for your address or phone number, right? Only a demonstration, right? But you know, when you want to do this for your database, you can always do that. You can always add phone number is one of the options here. Actually, it's a lot cooler than a Google form because the Google form doesn't feed back into this database, right? You'll see how it works. So what have I added? I've added a drop down. What do I want to do with a drop down? A drop down means that the user can select any one of multiple options you give them. I'm going to make this a required field and I'm going to say this is relationship status. So the first choice is going to be single. Second choice is going to be married. Third choice is going to be other. Okay, maybe you're engaged, maybe you're separated, whatever it is. I'm just going to say other. Let's add one last field. Let's add a checkbox. Now a checkbox differs from a drop down. In a drop down, you can select any one out of multiple options. A checkbox means you select multiple as apply. This is going to be hobbies. Check all that apply. Hobby 1 is going to be, can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay. So hobby 1 is going to be reading. Hobby 2 is going to be movies. Hobby 2 is going to be gardening. Hobby 4 is going to be sports. Hobby 5 is going to be cooking. And hobby 6 is going to be travel. Does that sound like a good selection of hobbies? So my form is looking really good, right? One last thing I'm going to add, and that is, since I'm not asking for your addresses, I'll add a text box asking for city. Now, city name is not there in this, so I can just add a text box, and I can change that text box to city of residence. And I'm going to make it a required field and say save. Now, I want my city of residence to come before relationship status. Do I need to delete all this and start again? No, I can just click on this and then just drag and drop. Is that cool or what? So easy to design a form, no? You can't do drag and drop in Google Forms, by the way. So nice form. I will show you one last thing that you can do on the form before we go and actually fill it. Only one thing, okay? You see, build it, design it, translate it. What does design it got? Ooh, the background is a very dull gray. I can change that to, let's make it a bright yellow. No, I'm joking. I don't want to blind all of you. I'll make it a pale yellow. Okay. Similarly, you can change the color of what's inside here. You can change the color of the font and all of that with all of these. Okay. I'm not going to demonstrate all of those, but you can try those out on your own. All of this pretty cool, right? And remember, free. All this for free. Now, how do you share this? If you've integrated this with your Facebook, it'll automatically give you a way to share it onto Facebook or Twitter. If you have an app, here's the QR code version of this entire form. I always think this is very cool, except I don't have an app to put this on. But if you want to go the really simple way like me, here's a website. It's already created this as a web page. Let's see what happens when I put this. Is that our form? Yes? Wonderful. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to take 1 minute and fill up this sign up form. Okay? Take it one step at a time, complete every single answer because the form will not go through until you complete it. When you complete the form, click on subscribe to list at the bottom, but don't shut the window there, okay? MailChimp has designed that already. Oh, how will it go on your website? You will have to code it in, Nandini. I can't teach you how to do that because I don't know web programming, website design. You can't really get that from the free account, Nandini. There are other ways in which you can share this link. You can tweet out this link, you can put it up on your social media channels. All of this for free, right? If you want higher versions, you'll have to pay for them. Okay, so I'm going to assume all of you are filling in these emails, filling in these forms. I am going to quickly go and open my own mailbox and start waiting for notifications of all of you subscribing. You'll need to complete this form. Click on subscribe to list. Don't shut the window. Look at the page that opens up when you click this button. It will ask you to verify that you're human. Wait till the circle stops revolving. Click on the tick and say yes, verify. And when you're done with that, go and check your email address. You should find an email from MailChimp. And you'll need to click on the link that it says, and only then will you get added to the database. Tell me when you're done with all these 3 steps. All the steps detailed over here in this explanation. All steps done, Nandini? not just completing the form. Okay, all right. So I can see three of you have already done that. You can see this in my mailbox. I had said subscribe notifications. So Nandini's has come, Abhishek has come, and Advika. While you're all doing this, I'm going to go back to my lists menu and open up this list. And ooh, there. All of you who've completed, look for your name. Can you see? It's updated it in the database already. Is there anyone who has completed the form but cannot see their name? Okay, so Dwanit, I'm going to refresh. Now, you have to look at all your folders, Vishal, not just your personals folder. Okay, Nandini, stay with the class. Don't take us down a different alley of thought. See, that comes under website development. I'd rather you understand the email marketing tool. Okay, can all of you who completed the form see your names here? Is there anyone whose name is not visible yet? Dwanit, I can see your name. Swaraj also. Is that everyone? Manjunath, open the email, click on confirm. Open the email, you should see a link in it. Can you see this? Your name is already there here. Vishal, your name is also here. Okay, shall I move on? All of you, I assume you're all in here? Everybody who completed the form? Okay, excellent. We have a database now. Can you see that? Also, I've received notifications of all of you. Now, it's not updated that number 9 yet, but it's definitely more than 9. That's a good database to get started on, right? You'll notice everything that you filled in. Now, I filled in my name manually. I didn't have to fill in date of birth, residence, and so on and so forth. So those fields are just left blank. But all of you who filled in hobbies, relationship status, city of residence, all this is there over here. Source also it tells me how did it get added. The administrator added it. It came through a sign up form. There's something called a contact rating, which I want you to keep in mind. I'll explain what this is in a little while. Okay? Are we ready to get started on campaigns? Okay, excellent. Let's go into campaigns now. And under campaigns, you'll see every campaign that I've sent using this particular account is all there. I can go and look at them anytime I want to. But never mind that. We are going to start with a brand new campaign by clicking on Create Campaign in the top right corner. Now it's asking me, do I want to create an email or an ad? What do I want to do? I want to create an email. MailChimp loves giving people lots of options. So it's giving me 4 different kinds of emails. I'm going to start with the simplest email, which is something called the plain text email. A plain text email is a completely no frill, simple email which only contains text. No images, no links, none of that. Because we're going to start step by step, okay? What am I going to call this? And this is not the subject line. This is just what is this campaign going to be called? It's going to be called DV Weekday, August, September 17, plain text. I'm going to say begin. There are 4 steps to creating a plain text email. Can you see 4 words at the bottom of the screen? Each of them is a step, and we are currently on step 1, which is recipients. Select who are you sending this to. I'm going to say choose a list. All the lists that I have are visible here. I'm going to select DV weekday September 17, entire list. And I'm going to go into the second step, which is setting it up. Setting it up means I'm going to name my campaign something if I haven't done. What is my email subject line? My email subject line is going to be welcome to MailChimp. I'm also going to add an emoji. Remember I told you I'll show you how to add emojis? Look, one little button here. That's it. Cute, right? Preview text. What is this? This is the pre-header text. Remember, again, pre-header text. What appears under the subject line on a mobile phone app? Okay, so what shall we call this? Plain text demonstration of MailChimp. Okay, let me call this MailChimp. No, MailChimp, the word is already there in the email subject line. So, plain text demonstration by Digital Vidya. From name says Digital Vidya, it's picking it up from my user contact details. But for this particular email, I can choose to change it if I want. I'm going to put in both person's name and company's name. Remember all these? What we talked through last week? What is my sender email address going to be? It's going to be digitalramya@gmail.com. What is going to get tracked? Now, plain text email cannot track opens, but Google Analytics can get tracked, links can get tracked. And that completes step 2, which is setting it up. Simple, everyone with me so far? I've created the subject line, the preview text, the sender name, and the sender email address. Step 3 is designing the email itself, creating the email content. On the left hand side is everything that the reader will be able to see. It says enter your content here. So I select this and delete it and say, hello, thank you for subscribing to the demo MailChimp list. This is a plain text email, contains no images, links, or buttons. Use this feature when you want to send quick, no fuss emails such as reminders, sign up links, etc. All the best. Keep mailing, keep learning. Ramya Pandian, Digital Vidya Trader. Is that a good email? You don't have to answer that yet, because even before I send it to the reader, I'm going to go up to this preview over here and enter preview mode. Okay, and this is what the email is going to look like. Is this a good email? It looks very boring, right? Super blah. So let me come out of it. Now, what is all this nonsense happening here? Let me remove all that. Okay, someone has unmuted themselves. Do not do that. Do not do that. We might get destabilized, the connection. So I just go here and remove this. Remember the unsubscribe option, absolutely necessary, right? So I'm going to leave that in here, but I don't need to share mailing address, phone number, forward this email. You already know how to forward emails. Update your profile is something I'll leave, but I'll put some space. Now I'll remove the extra space. Now let me look at preview. Slightly better, but I can still make it even better. Firstly, let me put a lot of space here. Let me increase this separator. Okay, somebody keeps unmuting themselves. Abhishek, please do not do that. Kindly don't do that. The connection could destabilize. Okay, this line is a little short. Let's make it. Am I going too fast? All of you, you're keeping up. You know what I'm looking at? Now this has become too long. So I have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal tos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just to be safe. Oh, you were right. 7. Yay, finally. Let me now just copy paste this and put this at the bottom here. Is that somewhat better? Somewhat? A little more professional looking? Maybe I can put a little more space so this comes right at the bottom. I'll do that. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Simple and easy. This is a very decent email. Now take a look at this. See this? Mobile. This is how it will look on a mobile. So remember those designs I told you about? Skinny, scalable, flexible, responsive. If you're using MailChimp, you don't really need to worry about it because MailChimp will do this for you. What is this? Can you see it's reflowing? The text is taking up less words per line, so many more lines. Can all of you see that? Yeah? And this is how it looks on a desktop. Okay, so this looks good. Are we ready to send it? Yes, no? Not so sure. Don't worry if you're not so sure. Because the fourth step is confirming and MailChimp saying, are you sure? Check again. So you want to deliver it to this database, right? You didn't select the wrong database by mistake. I'll say, wait, let me check. Okay, there are 13 people in this. Who are these people? This is Vishal, Namrita, Sahil, Ravi, Smita. Yes, yes, this is the correct list. Your subject line should be this. Do I want to change it? I can say edit and it takes me very, very slowly back to the second page where I can edit it. Okay, I'm going to say this emoji looks very silly, so I'm going to choose a different emoji. Is that better? And now let's jump to confirm. See, the emoji has changed. Preview text will be plain text demonstration by Digital Vidya. Replies will go here, tracking. And you included a plain text version. So everything fine? Everything is showing a green tick. If MailChimp thinks you've not completed something or if it wants to give you a warning, these will be either in a red cross or they will be a yellow saying check this again. Now remember you had to select your time zone. That's because MailChimp even lets you schedule the email. We talked about the timing of an email, right? If the best time to send an email is at 7:30 in the morning, and let's say your audience is sitting 2 time zones away from you. 7:30 in the morning for them might be 4 in the morning for you. Does that mean 4 in the morning you have to wait and hit the send button? No, you can just schedule it over here. But for now, I'm not going to schedule it. I want to make sure all of you receive this. So I'm going to hit send. Send now. And hi-fi, the email has come. Please go to your mailboxes right now and look for the email. By the way, web version created right over here. So any of you who did not fill it in, you can look at the web version here. We are so far very decent on time. I said 15 minutes more, right? So please stay, don't leave immediately. Because you're going to learn how to design the super cool kind of emails that all of you have been seeing right from the start. Let me know when you finish, okay? Quickly just take a look at it and come back and tell me when you're done. See, I've received this email. It says, welcome to MailChimp. Hello, thank you for subscribing to the demo MailChimp list. Okay, for some reason it is not showing the pre-header. Ah, okay. So it is still picking up the topmost text rather than the pre-header text. The pre-header text is not showing in this. It can't be delivering in deleted items, Vishal, unless you deleted it right now. It might have delivered to spam, not deleted items. Yeah, even I've gotten it without the pre-header. So MailChimp is either going through some problem or it's changing some settings. Okay, let's look into that later. But come back. Everybody's gotten it. Come back, come back. I'm sure you want to know how to design emails with buttons and cool things, right? Nandini, look at every folder. Okay. Sometimes it takes a little time, a little longer. Remember the server, router, that entire route. It might take a few seconds longer to reach some mailboxes. I'm going to go back to the dashboard and now go to campaigns. Shall we design a more fancy email? Create campaign, create email, and this time we are going to make a regular email, and this is going to be called DV Weekday August September 17 regular. Okay, so Vishal, we'll look at special cases later. Please just stay with me. Go with the demo. Okay, now you'll notice something. The regular email has 5 words at the bottom. Do you see that? How many did the plain text have? How many steps did plain text have? Only 4, right? Now, regular is a lot more complex. So, regular has 5 steps. Let's still take it step at a time. Step 1 is recipients. I'm selecting DV Weekday August September 17, but let's try something different. The last one got sent to all of you because I selected entire list. What if I do group or news segment? And I say contacts who match relationship status is married. And I say update. 5 recipients match these conditions. So that's Namrata, Nandini, Abhishek, Rakesh, and Manjunath. If I proceed with this, only these 5 people will receive the email. Everybody in my database who fulfills these conditions. I can add multiple conditions and say married people who have also said that their hobby is travel. Contacts match all. 4 recipients. So these are the 4 people who are married and also enjoy these. Instead of this, let's say I want everybody who says they love travel. They either love travel or they love gardening. Anyone who's interested in outdoor activities. So let's say sports. Gardening. People who like outdoor. Contacts match any. 12 recipients. So see what I'm doing? These are AND conditions or conditions. I'm segmenting my database based on different things. Clear? Are we completely clear on what I just did? Now don't worry, I'm not segmenting you. This is a demonstration for all of you. I just wanted to show you how you can do this. I'm going to take this back to entire list so all of you receive this email. Okay, but now you know how to segment within your database. Let's go to step 2, which is setup. Campaign name is here. Now this time I'm going to personalize the email subject line. Remember personalizing? Now you'll also remember the merge tag. Yes, Manjunath. Remember I selected that list? It's selecting only within that list. If I select a different list, then the conditions it allows me to do will be different. Okay? Now remember the merge tag? In the form I told you don't touch the merge tag. Everybody remembers that? Yeah? You'll also remember personalization. When you open the email, dear Corey, your own name, you have this many Facebook fans. I told you about coding, right? That coding is super simple. Every piece of information that you have about your audience has a unique tag. That's what the merge tag is. So the name field, the merge tag is what it said. Each of those fields we added, each of those questions turns into a field. Each of those fields has their own merge tag. All you need to do is pick up that merge tag. Like for example, in the subject line, what will I want? I will want to have your name, right? I want each of you to see your own name in the subject line. And MailChimp already gives me a tip there saying personalize the to field. Here is the merge tag you want. Copy it as it is, paste it in there, and say, the blue monkey misses you. Now tell me, what will this look like when Darshana opens her mailbox? What will the subject line be when Darshana opens her mailbox? Darshana, the blue monkey misses you. Exactly. Nandini, when she opens it, it'll say Nandini, the blue monkey misses you. Right? Okay, you know what? I'm going to leave this preview text blank and see what happens. I don't know what is happening. The snippet will appear in the inbox after the subject line, but that's not what happened, right? I don't know. See, that preview text is not available here. So I don't know. MailChimp also might be having some issues. From name, now this time I'm going to change it to Digital Vidya / Ramya. Now under tracking, regular emails opens can be tracked. Clicks can also be tracked. And now, is that done with the setup? So we'll proceed to step 3, which was not there in plain text, which is choosing the template. Now plain text did not involve any design elements. No images, no layout, no buttons, nothing. But the regular involves all this, which means you have to select a template or a layout. There are lots of different things you can do. If you don't want to look at any of these, you want MailChimp to help you, you can just go and select one of these templates and change just the brand name, the logo, and whatever it is you need to edit slightly in order to design the email. Lots of free templates given here. Can you see these? Really, really easy ones. If you have a template that you've already created and saved, you can go into that. I haven't saved anything. If I want to repeat a layout, a template I sent in one of my earlier emails, I just go to campaigns here under templates. It'll show me all my past emails. I can pick up the template from any of them, just select any of them. If I know programming, I can go into code my own and paste in and create HTML code. Or I can go into layouts and MailChimp will say, do you want to sell products with this email? Make an announcement. Now remember the 4th session, what did I ask? Coming to that, Ravi. What did I ask you to do in the 4th session? What is the objective of your email, right? If you know that, MailChimp gives you the best possible template for whatever your objective is. But if you don't want to answer any of those, here's where you can do it right from scratch. A single column layout, a multiple column layout. I'm going to pick any one of them. I'm going to pick let's pick this one. 1-2 column full width. And we are going to go into step 4, which is designing my email. So under template, all you're doing is picking out your layout, which you can then fill in under the design menu. Clear, everyone? Now take a look at what's happening under design. In the plain text, it just let me put my text. But on the design, it's got it in boxes like this, in different order. I can do lots of things with these boxes. I can drag and drop them to change the order. Drag and drop it and push it back. I can delete by clicking on that delete button. I can just add one more by clicking on the plus. See, it adds one more. Delete this by clicking on the minus or the trash can. Or I can edit it by clicking on the pen logo. I can also add more from these boxes on the side. Let's start by editing, okay? What I already have. Right at the top, view this email in your browser. So let's edit that. Do I want to get rid of this? I do not, right? But what I definitely want to do is to right align it so that it doesn't appear in the preview pane. Right? So I've done that. Can you see as I'm making those changes, when I say edit, On the right hand side, it opens up the box, which I can then go and edit as I want to. And whatever changes I make and save and close will reflect over here. Let's add an image to this. This one is an image box. Browse. Now I can upload an image from anywhere on my computer. If I have one, I can import it from an address, a website address, or any images that I've used in the past. I can pick up one of them and say insert. And when I do that, see, it tells me what the pixelage is. I can edit it. What are all the things I can do? It can be cropped. It can be resized, make it much smaller. Or I'll say, no, I don't want this happening. I'm going to replace this with something else, which is the MailChimp monkey. Here's the MailChimp monkey. I like the MailChimp monkey, right? Maybe the picture is not looking, it's looking a little blurry. So let me go and sharpen it. Sharpness. And save. Good? Is that good? Now let's add a headline to this. The next box, edit this. And this one I'm going to center align because this is in the middle of the email. MailChimp misses you. Have you used this wonderful service that you signed up for? It lets you do a lot of fun things and for free. Join this Blue Monkeys journey now. Now let me make all this a different color. Remember section separators? It's called a divider. I can just drag and drop it here. I can change let's make this 4 pixels. Gray is a good color, I think. Maybe let's make it a pale blue in keeping with the MailChimp branding. So see, this blue line I've added here. I'm going to delete all of this and say, get started with MailChimp in 5 easy steps. Step 1, update your contact information. Step 2, create lists. Create a list. Design a campaign. Track reports. So this should be 4 easy steps, not 5 easy steps. And I'm going to make this a much bigger size. Let's make this also a dark blue and make these slightly bigger and make these a lighter blue. Let's also underline this, or instead of underlining it, let's put it in a heading, a headline. Is that better? There's a bunch of other things you can do. If you go into style, you can specify the size and color here also. Center align, right align. Do I want it to have only 1 column or 2 columns? Now 2 columns means it divides up into 2 more. I can even select the width of the columns here. But I don't want to do all this. I'm just going to make it a single 1 column. Good so far? Let's add another image here. And let me put in the Digital Vidya logo into this. And the caption is going to say, don't forget to try this out for your assignment. Check the LMS discussion forums for additional tips. And this will be center aligned. Now I don't like this black background. So let's go into style and remove this black background and instead make it a blue. Is that better? And let's make this font a little different. Lucida. Now the Digital Vidya font, the size, let's try and make it a little bigger. Sharpen it. Okay, still need to get bigger. Better, but just a little bigger. So 265. Are we good on time? A couple of you have got disconnected, but is everyone okay with staying back to complete the demo? I'm just trying to fine tune this. You're all keeping up with me, right? This is all making sense? So you know what I'm trying to. Okay, finally. Now let's sharpen it. And save. Okay, this is not great, but I'm going to leave it at this. Is this better? Do we like this? Let's repeat this section separator. Now I may not get the exact same color, so let me just duplicate this and then just drag and drop this below here. Okay, why is it giving me only half? Now I seem to be forgetting something. I need a call to action button, right? Super important. So here's the button. There's the button. Button. Here, button. I'm going to drag and drop this here. Now, by now is the default text on the button. But what is this? What is my call to action here to be? Mail now, right? Because I'm trying to get you to start using MailChimp. What will the landing page be? What should the landing page be? When I say mail now, what should the landing page be? What am I trying to get you to do? MailChimp, right? Exactly. So MailChimp.com. The subject line says this blue monkey misses you, not Digital Vidya misses you. I'm going to go and change the color of the button. Red might be a better color, right? Because there's so many blue things in this email. Bright red. Let's also make the text a lot bigger. Better? Now this button is right at the bottom here. So let's drag this and put it right up here. I can also do a few more things with the button. If I go into settings, left align takes it to the left, right align takes it to the right, but we are going to center align it. I can make it a really huge button like this. Do I want to do that? No, let's just make it this. But I also did tell you, if your email needs to scroll a lot, repeat the call to action. So I'm going to drag and drop this to the very bottom. Now here at the bottom, the logos have already been embedded because this is the social follow widget. I go in here, it just says twitter.com, facebook.com, web URL. So twitter.com, I'm going to say my digital vidya, twitter.com/my digital vidya. Facebook, I don't know, so I want to get rid of this. How do I get rid of Facebook logo? I can just go in and say, but the website I want to leave. So this is going to be www.digitalvidya.com. I can add more if I want to, an email address, a website, one more Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google Plus, any one of these. Okay, and save and close. And these should come under the call to action button. And last but not the least, this box at the bottom. Do I need to put in copyright and all that? Not really, right? Okay, before you answer that, let's take a look at how the email looks in preview mode. MailChimp, okay. Now this is looking too long, isn't it? All this copyright, digital vidya, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to go and remove some of these things. Removing this, removing the address. Now unsubscribe needs to be there, and I'm going to leave whatever this rewards thing is in. Now let's see. So this looks much better. Yes. Let's take a look at how it looks on mobile. Now notice this. This is in two boxes. In a mobile, what's happening? This is responsive, right? Now if I do this, enable the live merge tag, it'll even show me. Abhishek will see it as Abhishek the blue monkey misses you, which means I can actually personalize it even further, right? So let's go in here and what was it? It was F name, right? So let's edit this and say asterisk F name MailChimp misses you. And let's see if that works properly. Aha, look at this. Abhishek, MailChimp misses you. Do we like what we've created? So are we ready to send? One last thing, couple of things. Under the preview pane, you can see there is a send a test email. You can send this to your boss or anyone else to say, just see how it looks, or to yourself to see how it looks. There's also something called link checker, which will go through and look at all the links and make sure none of the links are broken. There's something called social cards, which I'll demonstrate. If I enable social cards, now remember the web page version, there is a web page version of this that MailChimp is designed. If that web page, the link is shared on Twitter or Facebook, how will those excerpts look? You know what happens when you share your any link on Facebook in an update? It gives you a little excerpt, right? A picture and some text. MailChimp even lets you decide what you want appearing. So what do you want? Do you want any one of these pictures or do you want to upload an image yourself? I'm going to say upload an image. A very tiny image. Okay, I can't make it any, all right, I can't make it any smaller. Okay, MailChimp is hanging. Enable social cards, and this is going to be called MailChimp misses you. Write a short description. This is a reminder email to sign back to MailChimp. A demonstration of and now let's go into confirm. Okay, so am I comfortable with the database, the subject line? All replies will go here. I'm going to be tracking this. Here is the website address for this particular email, the web page address. Here's what the social card will look like. So if you were to share this particular, the web page version of this email on Facebook, this is how the excerpt will look. Am I ready to send? Yes, no? People? Only 5 minutes more. Okay, I have one last thing to show all of you. I need to show you how to read the reports because there's a lot more to MailChimp than you may think. I need you to do two things. First of all, go look for the email, open it, and click on at least two links within the email. Any two, okay? You don't have to tell me which ones. Any two links. In addition to that, I also want you to leave feedback about this session. And when you're done with that, I'll take you through the reports and then we'll have a couple of minutes for questions, okay? So here's the feedback link. Let me know when you're done. Okay? So feedback as well as also go into the email and click on any two links. Done? Complete the feedback also, please. I'll take you into reports. Okay. Now reports. Has everyone opened the email and clicked on at least two links? Any two links? Everybody? Okay, great. Now let's take a look at reports. Now here you'll see all the campaigns I've sent so far are all here. Let's first look at the plain text email. Now the plain text email, it tells me it doesn't track open rate and any of those. But under activity, I can go into the bounce report. And here it tells me 0 soft bounces, 0 hard bounces. So what's my delivery rate? 100%, right? Exactly. Now that's pretty much all I will get for a plain text. But let's look at the regular campaign. The first thing we look at, of course, the overview gives you a snapshot of everything. Let's first look at the bounce rate. So what is my bounce rate based on what you see here? Bounce rate. What's my bounce rate? 0%, right? Which means delivery rate is 100%. Let's go and look at the other things. So, firstly, 71.4% open rate, 64.3% click rate. Now, all of you know what this means. Remember, I chose my industry as education and training. So, here's the benchmark for this kind of a company. Now, obviously, this is only a simulation. You can't really order your customers to go and click a link. But at a glance, it lets you compare and see what is your open rate and click rate versus what you should be aiming for. Let's get into a little more detail. I'm going to click on the 71.4% and it tells me who are the people who opened my email. It even tells me that Vishal, Ravi, Rakesh, Nandini, Darshana, Manjunath, and Swaraj opened the email twice each. If I choose Rakesh, it will tell me that he opened the email at 9:56, came out, opened it again, and then clicked on MailChimp.com and MailChimp.com. At an individual user level, it's telling me what each of you are doing. Are we impressed by that? Okay, if you're not impressed, let me try and impress you even further. Let's go into activity and look at the clicked report. So I know that all those clicks that came, this was my database. Let's go back here. What was my click rate? 71.4%, right? These were the links that got clicked on. MailChimp.com, Twitter.com, and Digital Vidya. 13 clicks on MailChimp.com, but only 10 of them unique clicks. What does this mean? This means that 3 of you have clicked on the same link twice, right? 10 unique users have clicked on the link, but there have been some multiple clicks, which is why there are 13. I can compare these two and see who are those people who. So these are the people who clicked on the link at least once. Total clicks will tell me the people who clicked twice. Where are the repetitions? Abhishek, Darshana, and Rakesh, the 3 people who clicked the link twice. Now there were 2 MailChimp links, right? Because I repeated the button. Which one did all of you click on? Which one was more successful? How can I find that out? I go to the click map. Yes, but there were 2 buttons, remember Rakesh? I repeated the button. So, and both of them lead to MailChimp.com. Which one did these clicks come on? So I've gone into click map and click map shows me the entire email with a link map as well. Both of them are mail now, Vishal. Can you see these are 2 buttons? Yeah, you don't need to tell me. See, I'm able to track this. 37.5%, that's 6 clicks came on this. 43.8%, that's 7 clicks came on this. If I open this, it will even tell me which of you clicked on the top button, which of you clicked on the lower button. So this would be what? This is 7. So the lower button was clicked on by Darshana, Nandini, Abhishek, Smita, Rakesh, Manjunath, and Abhishek. And the upper button was clicked on by Vishal, Darshana, Abhishek, Ravi, Rakesh, and Swaraj. Is that good? A good number of insights? If I go back to overview, you'll also see over time it tells me. And see, successful deliveries also it gives me 100%. I wanted you to calculate it on your own, but you have it right here at a glance. Total number of opens, total number of clicks, and over a course of, because not all your users will open it at the same time. Over 24 hours, it will show you how your open rate and click rates have changed. Yes, absolutely. Not just call to action button, Vishal. You might want to know different things. Where is the customer's eye going first? What are they doing better? All these analytics give you a lot of insights about it, don't they? So that brings me to the close of my demonstration. What all have you learned? Completing your user profile, managing access and data. Okay, very quickly, how do you do that? If you want to take backups and all of this, go into profile. Under settings, manage my data. You can take backups over here. Okay. Building lists, setting up campaigns, designing emails, tracking reports. Here's your extra reading. Okay, we've gone way over time, but I'll take 2 questions now while you're going through this send checklist, and then we'll close for today, okay?